Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Sayyida Heba Bukhari. Welcome back to my channel The Mat Corner, and today in this tutorial we are going to be discussing about the side determination of the humerus bone. So in order to determine the side of any bone, you should keep these three things in your mind. First of all, you should have a bone in your hand so you guys can easily identify the landmarks which I am talking about. Next is that you should place the bone on your body parts. Like if I am talking about the humerus bone, so you should place it on your arms. And number third is that you should know about the osteology of the humerus bone. So as I have already made a video on the osteology of the humerus, so if you don't know about the osteology, you guys can go and check out. So these are the three basic tricks which you should remember it in order to determine the side of any bone. As if you know about the osteology, you guys can easily remember that which side, which structures, which landmarks are present on the anterior side, which landmarks on the posterior side, which are on lateral, which are on medial. So it's very easy. Now let's just focus on the humerus bone, which is a topic of our video today. As you guys can see that this rounded ball-like structure, which is marked in the blue color, should be placed on the proximal end, and this ball-like structure is termed as the head of the humerus, which should be placed on the medial side so that it can articulate with the glenoid cavity of the scapula, which is present on the lateral side of your body. Now let's just take a look over the distal end of the humerus. As you guys can see that the distal end is expanded so that it is more like forming a triangular shape. As in the previous video, you have studied that there are two fossa on the anterior surface and the one fossa on the posterior surface. So the radial fossa over here marked in the green color, and this is the coronoid fossa which is marked in the blue color, should be placed on the anterior side of the bone. So these two fossa should be placed on the anterior side of the bone, while if we turn around the humerus bone, this fossa over here, which is termed as the olecranon fossa, which is located on the posterior side, should be placed on the posterior side. Have remembered it that the head should be placed on the medial side, and the distal and on the distal end the radial fossa and the coronoid fossa should be placed anteriorly, and if you turn around the posterior fossa, that is the olecranon fossa, should be placed posteriorly. So by these important landmarks, you guys can simply identify that to which side this humerus bone belong. What do you think that this humerus bone belong to which side, either left or right? Answer it in the comment section below. Now let's just put back this humerus bone to the skeleton. Here is the skeleton, and as you guys can see that if I place the humerus bone on the skeleton, you guys can see that the head of the humerus, you have to focus on the three landmarks, which is number one is the head of the humerus, which should be placed medially so that it can articulate with the scapular glenoid cavity, which is present on the lateral side. And if we talk about the distal end, so the second thing is that you should have to focus on is that the radial fossa and the coronoid fossa should face anteriorly, and number third is that the olecranon fossa should be on the posterior side of the bone. By keeping these features in mind, you guys can see that this humerus bone belongs to the right side. And if you guys understand it and like the video, then make sure to like and subscribe to the Mat Corner. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.